Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please, I urge you to do so now. Today, I bring you a very well-known amplifier brand, Dan Agostino. And this happens to be their Momentum S250 MXV stereo amplifier with an MSRP of $44,950. Yes, I said $44,950. This is a channel dedicated to the ultra high end, and this happens to be an ultra high end power amplifier. Okay, so why don't I talk about this power amplifier and you guys sit down for a minute and hear me out? Welcome back, guys. Thank you for being with me here today. D Agostino, one of the legendary amplifier designers, going way back to the 1980s, I want to say, with Krell Industries. If you remember him, he used to build some of the best amplifiers that Krell ever created. Their Evolution series, which is something that I have always really loved because they're massive amplifiers with heavy power supplies, tons of power. I have been a fan of Dan D Agostino's amplifiers. Actually, this is a good opportunity for us to talk about when we think about some of the best power amplifiers from the 80s and 90s. We can all agree that Krell was certainly part of those conversations. Okay, well, let's fast forward to today and discuss his new creation, the Momentum S250 MXV power amplifier. Now, of course, to the naked eye, you're going to see one incredible bling bling looking chassis. Okay, the chassis is with this beautiful, beautiful copper heatsink that you see here right now on your screen. Okay, love the black finish on top, the black aluminum finish on the top. Personally, I think this is the better looking finish than the other offering, which happens to be the chrome finish that you see right now. One of the reasons why I prefer this finish is number one, it's not as common as the all blinged out model. And that finish in itself, by the way, tends to show fingerprints a lot easier and even scratches, in my opinion, much easier than this. Now, when it comes to the power supply, this power amplifier has a 2200 kVA transformer. Okay, this is a transformer that's identical in size to the outgoing model, the S250. However, this has 50% more current, which is cool because it allows for the amplifier to maintain the same form factor as the predecessor. When it comes to the output transistors, in case you do not know, one of the biggest changes of this power amplifier is the fact that they're now utilizing 26 output transistors that are part of the big bad boy relentless monoblock. So it's cool to see some of those expensive parts make their way into this new generation of amplification. When it comes to power, this amplifier puts out 250 watts into 8 ohms, doubling down to 500 into 4 ohms, and then 1000 watts into 2 ohms. I can say that this has sufficient power to handle just about any speaker out there. One of the greatest things about the sound, I would say, from D Agostino, from my memory, okay, my recollection of my ownership with the S250, was the fact that this tends to be an amplifier that sounds very smooth, very pretty. It never felt fatiguing to me, very engaging. Think of it as that solid state amplifier that tries to mirror the sound of tubes. That's really their biggest strength. They try to sound like tubes, but they have the base of some of the best solid state power amplifiers that we have available to us. Now, on the back, you're going to see the typical 2 sets of binding posts, one for the left channel, one for the right channel. You have a trigger in and out. You only have XLR in. That's one thing I've seen with the D Agostino line of products. They don't really accommodate you for RCAs, okay? They're always very strong when it comes to using XLRs. Such a beautiful display that shows you the left and right channel, that allows you to see what's going on with your left and right channel. Another thing they've done with this amplifier is the bias system. They have biased this amplifier in such a way that it doesn't get as hot when driven hard, which is one of the, I wouldn't call it issues, but one of the biggest things that you notice with the predecessor. Okay, it would run really, really hot when you drove it hard. This amplifier runs cooler to the touch than the outgoing model, which means it may have a prolonged life, less issues, less failures. It's always a good thing when an amplifier doesn't run so hot. When I owned the S250 and the M400s way back when, the predecessors of the current models, I remember that I felt that the S250, the stereo model, was better sounding to my ears than the M400s. Okay, that was my experience. Now, I do not know if this is repeating itself, if history is repeating itself with this new MXV model. No idea if that's the case. However, in my current situation, I bought two S250 MXV stereos, okay? Now, they can be transformed to a monoblock. You can send them into the factory, and I believe the cost to transform this stereo amplifier into a mono is approximately $7,500 each. So you're looking at an added cost of $15,000 to turn these stereo amplifiers into a mono amplifier. I personally don't feel like I want to do that because my speakers can be biamped, even triamped, and I feel like I prefer to connect these in stereo mode to each speaker so that they're being fed 4 channels of amplification. One of the interesting things that Sonos Faber recommends when connecting 2 stereo amplifiers to their speakers is to use one amplifier, as you can see on your screen right now, to drive the high frequency and mids, and the second amplifier to drive the lows, right? I was going to do it differently. What I was going to do is I was going to use one amplifier to amplify each speaker, right? One per speaker, separate completely. I don't know why Sonos Faber finds it better that I just think about it differently and think of it more in terms of, no, use one amplifier for the mids and highs and one amplifier for the lows. So that's what I'm going to do. But I might tinker with it, and I might play with doing it differently, the way I originally wanted it to do, to see if maybe there is sonic benefits by doing it the way they're telling us to do it. But right now, I do not know. So what I'm going to do next is, of course, listen to the amplifier in the privacy of my home. I spend some time with it. As far as preamplification, what I might do is probably use my Ref 6 SE. Or if not, maybe I use an esoteric preamplifier. I don't know. I even have a CH position here. So I may try 2-3 different preamplifiers to get a feel for the amplifier itself and see what the amplifier is really bringing to the table. For now, I am going to get started to listen to my system and hopefully come back to you with my preliminary findings about this new MXV stereo amplifier from Dan D Agostino. Folks, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will speak to you soon. My impressions will be always super objective. Take care.